watchers, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And before we get into anything, I want to go ahead and ask that y'all forgive me that it's been like 5 days, almost a week, that there has not been any videos posted. Y'all forgive me, like seriously. All of that, yes. Y'all know how it goes. But I do appreciate y'all understanding hearts and just being gracious toward me. But yeah, before I get into me, make it about me. How are y'all doing? How has y'all weekend been? Since I'm catching the tail end of y'all weekend, I know today is Sunday and y'all should be having this video, watching it sometime in the evening. That's when it should be posted, Lord willing. But yeah, how has y'all weekend been? Have y'all were able to get out there into the theaters and see anything? What have you been streaming? What have you been doing? Even if you haven't been getting into any of that, like, have you, like, oh yeah, I know this was a holiday weekend for some people who actually celebrate that. If that is you, like, how did you celebrate? Did you do any barbecuing, any cookouts, hanging out with family and friends? Did you make it out to the lake? Or I don't know, whatever, however y'all choose to do y'all thing. Please let me know in the comments how y'all been, because seriously, y'all know I do care about y'all, okay? Like, seriously. Yeah, but as for me, yes, I've been pretty busy, like, seriously. Got a lot of different side projects going on outside of YouTube. Of course, there is life outside of YouTube, but even within that, just having a lot of different side projects that I am working on that does take a great deal of my time. Of course, I'm going to reveal that to you all at the right time, you know, when it's ready to be revealed. But as for right now, it is not. But just know that I am, like, working outside of YouTube on some different things that I'm very passionate about, that I know that God has called me to, and yeah, all of that. I want to get into it because I start saying something that I don't even want to say right now. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Also, like, summertime, when the weather is good, summer, spring, all of that, I usually get into more reading. I find myself more like checking out books from the library, all that kind of different things. So I done tapped into that adventure world. And so if you've been around on this channel, you've been a faith watcher for about a year at least. If you have been, you know that in my video history there are some videos that are like book reviews that I get into, talking about different books and stuff. I have a few videos in my video history like that. Instead of having because I thought about that, I literally thought about that today, y'all. Should I just create a second channel for the book stuff? Because I really enjoy reading. Like, seriously, I follow a lot of booktubers. I'm sort of like, I dip and dab in a lot of the booktube community, catch their lives and support the girls over there. But I don't necessarily get to really participate as far as like sharing the different books that I'm reading, because I'm mostly over here on the movie side and focusing more on movies, television shows, and all of that kind of stuff, which I do love. I have a passion for. And I know this lane is not really big for like faith-based and family. So that's why I really try to press into this and make sure that this is like a channel a trusted channel that you know, okay, this is not somebody who's going to be posting once a month and I ain't going to hear from her or whatever. I try to be as consistent as I possibly can with this particular channel, because there's not a lot of faith-based, family-friendly like reviews for movies and television shows and all that kind of stuff, unfortunately. Because I have looked even way before I started this channel, and even now it's been almost going on 2 years. It'll be 2 years in August since I had this channel, y'all, and I still haven't come across like a channel that really focuses on this particular genre, this area, like that's all that they do. So that really does encourages me. Forgive me for saying really, I gotta get out of that. But that does encourages me a lot to make sure that I stay with this and stick it out, because we need more of this. Like, the booktube community is pretty big, even for like Christian faith-based stuff. It's a lot of girls who have a lot of different channels. There are a lot of different resources in that area. So I'm like, okay, I don't really need to like be there like that as far as adding my own little thing. So I literally, like I was saying, I literally thought about that. Forgive me, y'all. I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm bouncing around, but we have a lot to catch up on. Okay, it's been almost a week. All right, we ain't finna act brand new. All right, like we don't know what it is. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff to catch y'all up on. So I was thinking about that today. Like, should I just make a different channel for that? And then I'm like, no, it really doesn't make any sense because I need to focus more on these movies, these television shows and stuff like that. And that's why it's Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. The books will fall under the more of the fun reviews. And that's usually, I get into that more in our summer. Like we're in the summer now, officially in the summer. So you're gonna see a little bit of reviews pop up here and there on this channel for books. For those of you who actually do enjoy reading, I guess that's a plus for you. For those of you who like, I don't really do that. I don't really read like that, girl. I want to see what's going on more with these movies, these television shows and all of that. Then you're definitely in the right place as well, because I focus more on that than anything. You'll find more videos more on that than anything else. But yeah, just want to make y'all a little bit prepared. That so if you do find book reviews popping up here and there throughout the summer, just know that that's just how it goes on this channel. That's how I do. And most of the books that I'll be focusing on, to be honest with you, this summer, because I already started reading, and I'm probably going to talk about the book that I'm getting into right now, because I'm in a series and I'm on book 2 of this particular Amish series. So a lot of the books are going to be more Amish this summer for me, because that's just where my heart is right now. I find that I really enjoy a lot of Amish fiction, and they just bring so much peace and joy to my heart. Like seriously, I feel like I'm out by the lake somewhere, even though I may not be able to be literally in that scenery. I feel that way when I'm reading those particular books. I also feel like that that desire, that pressing need to pray more. And I like seriously, I find myself literally praying when I'm reading these almost fiction novels, which I love that. So that's really why you're gonna find more of those kind of reviews for right now, and I've just been enjoying that. But we ain't gonna get into that because that's not what this video is about. This is actually movie review, and y'all know, okay, y'all know I'm a nostalgia girl, so I will jump back to the 90s, the 80s, and all of that with different films. I told y'all I try to take y'all along on my journey. If that's where I'm happen to be, if I'm over the weekend, I happen to watch something that's back in the day, I'm gonna tell you about it, because that may not be something that you have watched or saw before. It may be something that you have. You like, oh, I remember that. That'd be nice to go back and like watch it and hang out a little bit, how, you know, relive the memories and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what we're here for. We're just having a good time, y'all. But definitely I'm going to do my best, and like I said, forgive me that the videos have not been as consistent for the past 5 days or so, as opposed before then. Y'all were getting them left and right, and yeah, I am gonna get back on that, like seriously, being a little bit more consistent. So yeah, thank y'all for y'all forgiveness and stuff. But I think, is that all I want to catch y'all up on? We already 8 minutes, almost 10 minutes into this video, and I feel like I just took y'all down a whole, I don't know, but I'm sure y'all appreciate it because I had a lot to say. I literally feel like it's been ages since we talked, and y'all are like family here. This is a community that we're building here. That has always been the main goal when I started this channel, to create like a community of faith-filled, Jesus-loving people who love books and all of that kind of stuff. Well, books, movies, everything like that, and just hang out and have a safe place where you can just hang out, feel like this is my sister, you know. So yeah, so I'm hoping that we can continue to strive in that direction. I hope you feel at home here, and know that yeah, you can contribute by leaving comments, letting me know if how this community can serve you, what this channel can serve you a little bit better, what movies more you would like to see, and all of that. Feel free to let me know, because I won't know unless you say something, okay? I don't read minds, okay? I don't do that. But yes, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled Richie Rich. And you actually can find this film streaming on different streaming services. But yeah, let me tell y'all what this film is about. Richie Rich has every toy any little boy could ever want. In addition to an adoring mother and father, the one thing Richie doesn't have is friends. Now, faith watchers out here, I have seen this movie so many different times in the past, and this is today. Literally, I watched this today. I saw it from the eyes of an adult, and just totally in a different lane, a different season, all of that. So I do tend to do that a lot of times. I like to go back and watch certain films that I probably saw when I was a kid or whatever, and just wondering how would I see it through the eyes of an adult. Because when you were a kid and you were watching something, a lot of different things kind of go over your head. A lot of stuff. You miss a lot of stuff because you're just more caught up in the fun of things, how things look, how it makes you feel, and all of that. And I just can remember as a kid more seeing the character Richie, just thinking, obviously our worlds were quite different. He grew up with the silver spoon in his mouth, literally having everything at his fingertips, and that was not the way that I grew up. And also, he's the only child. I'm not the only child. So it's a lot of bit of differences when I saw this film as a kid. But one of the things that I remember as a kid that really stuck out to me about Richie is I just felt like he felt so like normal. He didn't feel like what I would think as a kid a rich kid would be. And apparently a lot of the different kids, the crew in this film, felt the same way. They had this picture in their mind how a rich kid would behave, what would be their attitude, and different things like that. And so they kind of went more off of that, what was in their head, instead of getting the real deal. And so here we meet the character Richie. Like I said, he grew up the only kid, silver spoon in his mouth, his parents, they even said it in this film, he's like the richest kid in the world. And he got his mom and his dad, he has this huge mansion, all these different things, like I said, lots of toys, all kind of stuff. But it's like, and it never really hit him, because I would assume when you grow up in something, that is just your reality. You don't think that you're missing anything, regardless of whether you grew up poor, rich, middle class, whatever your situation is. You don't think as a kid, what are you missing? It's just, that's your life, and that's just how it is. But when your eyes are open and you actually see something that is not a part of your world, I guess the wheels start to turn there. And that's what we get here with the character Richie. Like, he is just a sweetheart, your typical kid. When you see like the transitions that go pretty fast in the film at the very beginning, when he's a little baby, when he's born, a little baby, a toddler, and then grows, and then he's like a kid. And we see the transitions that happen pretty fast, which I appreciate. And then we're right there at that moment when he's a kid. And then we witness that scene when he actually does encounter something that he doesn't have, that isn't a part of his world. And it never really dawned on him. He never thought about that he did not have this particular thing. And that thing is having friends. And it just reminds you, and I feel like it don't matter what age you are, it is literally the same thing. I didn't know that as a kid. I thought this is only like kid drama here, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be a part of something, wanting to have friendships and all of that. I literally thought that was kid drama until you become an adult and you see that it's really not much different from being a kid, except you have more responsibilities and all of the craziness. But yeah, and I see here the same things, the desire that Richie has in this film to be accepted, to have real friends that love and accept him for who he is. It is so special, and it literally brought tears to my eyes. It brought tears to my eyes as a kid watching this, but it brought more tears to my eyes as an adult watching it too, from the eyes of an adult. That really, that's all we want as human beings. Like, even the scripture talks about what's desired in a man is kindness, and it's so true that we desire someone to be kind to us. We desire love, we desire acceptance, we desire at some point to be validated, at some point for someone to be proud of us and to know that we have values, that we have worth, and to be appreciated for that very thing. And not to say that you should live your life like this, where you're going everywhere around craziness looking for it, and like craving it, where you're trying to get it any way that you know how. I'm not saying, definitely don't do that, because people are going to fail you left and right throughout the course of your life and your journey. That's just how it goes, because yeah, it's called life, right? But one of the things that really stood out to me in this film is like being true to who you are and accepting that truth, and knowing when you are who you are, when you are real to that very person that God created you to be, those true friends, that friendships, they will come in God's timing. Like seriously, it will come. And I know it sounds like almost cliche when you say something like this, especially if you are in that season right now where you're like, oh, you're feeling a little bit alone. You're feeling like nobody understands you. You would love to have like that, at least one special friend in your life that gets you, okay? That you just have that connection. I get it, because I see it all the time throughout online and different people channels and stuff like that. And this film does kind of bring that to the forefront. And at the end of the day, it reminds me, just be who God created you to be. Be true to that person and know that you are valuable, you are loved, you are worthy, and you always have a friend in Jesus. If no one else like gets you, he gets you, and that has to be enough for you. Like at the end of the day, you got to be like cool with that. That's gonna be enough for me. And yeah, you hope for the best. You hope that you could have something like that. Like in this film, the character Richie, he desired real friends, and it was such a blessing to see how it all played out for him. Of course, we're gonna stay away from spoilers, but yeah, that's one of the things that I took away from this film, and that is being true to who you are and trusting that the right friends will come at the right timing, in God's timing. But don't go chasing these things. Don't change who you are to try to get someone to accept you, to get someone to love you. It would turn out every single time as a disaster, like seriously. But yeah, once again, this film is titled Richie Rich, and I know I kind of harp more on the lessons that I took away from this film, which are very valuable, and I just love it. But it really, like, doing that more with this review kind of kept me away from staying away from spoilers, because I really don't want to spoil a film for you. So I kind of just stayed more on the lessons that I took away from the film, because we are faith watchers here, so we're looking for the faith. Okay, we just gotta put that out there. Once again, this film is titled Richie Rich, and it is starring one of our beloved actors, like especially as a kid. We all, America's like sweetheart was Macaulay Culkin. Y'all know that from Home Alone, all that kind of stuff. So he does stars in this film. To me, one of his greatest works, along with the Home Alone and all of that franchise. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all for this video. But before I get out of here today, we're gonna go ahead and get into the scripture. And we are coming out of Proverbs. Let's see. Proverbs. Why do I feel like, okay, I'm in the wrong section, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Oh yeah, here I am. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 9. And it reads, ointment and perfume delight the heart, and the sweetness of a man's friend gives delight by hearty counsel. That's all I have for y'all for this video. Y'all be on the lookout. I told y'all, keep me in your prayers, because I'm definitely working on being more consistent and getting these reviews out to y'all, because yeah, it ain't always about the movie and the TV series or the book in itself, but it's the faith, it is the lessons that we take away from these things, which draw us closer to our Heavenly Father and remind us of who he is, his character, his true character. So that's really the whole point of all of this. I have to just put out there for those of you who may be new to the channel, because I saw quite a different few people who actually joined lately. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in there. So until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.